Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the KISN, the King Icheboo Sports Network for September the 2nd, 1979. We are in the pennant races. We're going to play some baseball. We're going to play some football as it's the beginning of the NFL season. And let's go right to Houston, the Astrodome, and the Mets versus the Houston Astros. The Astros are half a game back of Cincinnati for the National League West race. So the Mets, we're just talking here. We're just playing. So let's see, L-1. L-1 is K. Go away, control thing. There we go. K for the Astros, and for the Mets, they got on 4 because of the incredible pitching staff. L-K-J-I-H. H for the Mets. So then we take a look at the home field. They go down again, one more to G, and the Astros are K. Let's see here. We're going to have this 9th inning. I'm changing this to 9th inning. So if it's tied here, then we go to the press and we play the 9th inning. The Mets are an A, which is the worst you can get. So you can see here the first game, they went to extra innings, went 10 innings. And before the Astros won, then the Mets won yesterday. And now it's Houston's turn. So we're going to roll on G for the Mets. I'll bring up the scoring chart. Go to the little boy chart. And then we're rolling for G. G. I want to make sure. I don't want to screw up. I screw up too many times. I know people point it out. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to play the game. And it doesn't always work. So here we go. We're rolling for the New York Mets on G. Here is their roll. 65. 5 runs for the Mets in the Astrodome. Huge performance as spoilers. And now the Astros have their work cut out for them. What do they have to roll here on K? GK. So we go to K. And they have to roll 5. So they have to roll a 61 or higher. That was a huge roll for the New York Mets. Astros just can't get over the hump. All right, so it's 61 or higher. Can they get the 61 or higher? 61, they do it! So it goes to 5-5 tie. We go to the 9th inning tied. We go to the pressure situation. We go the 9th inning. The Mets are an A in pressure situations, and Houston is a J. As you can imagine, J is better than A. So the Astros have the advantage. They're used to playing in one-run games. Mets, not so much. They get blown out typically. So we go to the pressure chart, and we roll for the Mets first. They have to roll in the 9th inning to score, they have to hit the X. So they have to roll a 62 or higher to get the 6th run of the game. Here's the roll. 66, they do score. The Mets score the 6th run in the 9th inning, the top of the 9th. Now it's time for Houston. Can they match, or is the game over? They're on the J. Who are these Mets today? They want to play spoilers so hard. The Astros have to roll 44 or higher. Come on, dice. 44 or higher. Here's the roll. 41. They lose. The Mets win it 6-5. In the 9th inning, the top of the 9th, they pull out the victory at the Astrodome. So the Astros get a home loss. They gave up 5 runs and allowed 6. The winner is Randy Neiman. Randy Neiman is the loser. Oh, he's the loser. Randy Neiman. I have to fix this. It's too small. So I have to go like this and hit the auto column width thing. And the winner is Coble. Coble of the Mets gets the win. So now we roll 5 runs for the Astros. 5 runs for the Astros. They're the losing team. Roll 3 dice. And that was a hard-fought loss. They needed that one. They're playing against the Mets, for goodness sakes. Their record drops to 76-60. Okay, here's the roll. They have to roll 84 or less to get a home run. It is an 84, so they're hitting home runs in this series big time. They got 2 in the first game, which is astronomical for them because they only had 49 all year. But they get another home run. Who hit the home run? Other. And what kind of home run was it? If it's up to 694, it's a solo shot. And if it's up to 816, it's a 2-run home run. And if it's they didn't have a grand slam, so from 817 to 1000, it's a 3-run homer because we're counting for 5 runs. So here is the roll. 231's a solo shot for Other. So you can guess who it is. So solo shot for Other, somebody else. Okay, we go for roll number 2, run number 2. Here is the roll. 586, not a home run. Who drove in the runs? 178. That is Enos Cabell. He has 3 RBIs in the series. And that's 2 runs. Here's the third run. 167. Normally that's a home run for a lot of people, but not the Astros. So 329 is who drove it in. That's Cesar Cedeno. He drove in the run. That's run number 44, driven in for him. So that's 3 runs. 2 more to go. 611, no home run. 357, just over Cedeno. On to Terry Poole, Canadian hero. So that's 4 runs. And run number 5, 262, 694. It's Other. It's because it's over 533. It is Other. So Other has 2. So there's all the runs for the Astros. Now we take the results. And we head back to New York, where they are happy about their Mets winning 2 of 3 in Houston. So they give them another home win number 54 on the season. And they score 6 runs and they allow 5. The winner is Coble, and the loser is Neiman. Okay, just make this bigger so that we can fit his name in there. All right, so now we see how their runs were scored. Their home run number is 125. Here's the first roll, 911. So it's not a home run, and it's 748. That's Other. Because anything over 618 is Other. Okay. Here's the second roll, 811. Not a homer, 358. 358 is John Stearns. He gets RBI number 59 on the season. That's run number 2. Here's the run number 3. 811 again, or 800. No, 801. No, 800. It's 800. And so it's not a home run. And 043. So the Lee Mazzilli, who's having a big series, drove in the third Astro run. Number 4. 118. It's a home run. Now the maximum. Okay, this is run number 4. So we know it was 1 run in the 9th. So the maximum this can be is a 2-run homer. So if it's 1 to 500, it's a 1-run homer. And if it's 501 up, it's a 2-run homer. It is a 2-run homer for somebody. Who is it? Other. Other hit a home run. It was a 2-run shot. Now the winning run. Who drove in the run? The go-ahead run in the top of the 9th. Was it a home run? No. Who drove it in? 235. The hero is Richie Hebner. He drove in the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th, and he gets a yellow star for that. So the Mets win. So let's see. Let's go to New York. Let's go to New York because the Kansas City Royals, who got blown out in the first 2 games of this series, if you look at the standings, they were ahead in the American League West for a long time, but now California has passed them, and they're half a game back of California now with a record of 71-64. They are choking in New York. And now they have opportunity to salvage the last game of this 3-game set. Yankees are P. They go up 2 to R. And it's basically the same throughout the series. But I'm just trying to follow along, so explain how this works. If you're not sure, S minus 2 goes to Q. Okay, then we take the home field advantage of Yankee Stadium. Does not affect the Yankees. There still are, but it affects the Royals. They go down another one from Q to P. The press, I for Kansas City, J for the Yankees. So here it's PR. We're going to roll for P for the Kansas City Royals. Here's P. And we change the dice back to 10 or a 6-sided die with 2 of them. Here's the roll for the Kansas City Royals on P. They need a high number. 63 is a high number. They score 7 runs in this game. The only question is, how many will the Yankees score on R? We go to the R column and we roll on R. That's 2 points better than P, or 2 columns better. So they need at least a 55. So the Royals are hoping for a 54 or less, although the 53 could be interesting. Here's the roll. 51. They score 5 runs. No, is that 5 or 6? Oh, 5. So it's 7-5. The Royals do salvage the final game of the series and win it by a score of 7-5. That's a home loss for the Yankees. They score 5 runs. They allow 7. The winning pitcher is Steve Manguri. And Goose Gossage gets the loss. All right, so we now roll for the Yankees. 5 runs for the Yankees. How did they get their runs? We change to a 10-sided die. We go to 3 of them. Oh, am I going the wrong? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong one. There you go. Why isn't it working? Okay, here we go. So it's 204 is their home run number. First one is 120. It is a home run. We're going to go, who hit the home run? 506. 506 is Chris Chambliss. Chris Chambliss got the home run. How many runs did that home run drive in? It can be up to a grand slam because they have to count for 5 runs, and this is only the first. Here's the roll. 075, that is a solo shot for Chris Chambliss. The left-handed power hitter hits one into Yankee Stadium's easy-to-hit-in right field corner. So here's run number 2. It's not a home run. Who drove it in? 807. That's higher than 500, so it's other. Anything over 500 is other on the Yankees. They spread out their RBIs very well. All right, so this is roll number 3. It is 633. Another other. Another other. That's 3 runs. 2 more to go. Here's the 4th run. It's not a home run, and it's 268. 268 is Greg Nettles. He drove in number 78 on the season for Greg Nettles. And here's the final one. Maximum solo shot. If it's a homer, maximum 1 run. Here is, because this is the 5th run we're counting for. It is not a home run, and it's hit by 104, who is Reggie Jackson, RBI number 71 on the season. So now we take the results. Take the results from the Kansas City Royals, and they go back to Kansas City with the good news that they won the game. So we let them know. The people say yay, and we put a home win for the Royals, and they scored 7, and they allowed 5. And the winner, Steve Manguri, and Goose gets the loss. Okay, so now we roll for the Royals runs. They have 7 of them to run or roll for. Their number is 136. They're not a huge home run team. 578, not a home run. 369. 369 is Amos Otis. Amos Otis rides in the first run. Here's run number 2. Run number 2 is 822. 839, that's other. Somebody else. And then roll number 3. Not a home run. 267. 267 is George Brett. RBI number 90 for Brett on the season. He needs to get to 20 homers to be one of the rare 20-20-20 club. He already has his 20 doubles. He already has his 20 triples. He just needs 20 home runs to be a member of that exclusive club. All right, so that was roll number 3. Here's roll number 4. 287 is not a home run. 101, that is Darryl Porter, the catcher, with the big specs. He's got 4. That's 4th run. Here's number 5. Not a home run. 163. That is Brett. Brett has RBI number 91. So that's 5 runs. Here's number 6. Not a home run. 051. That's Porter again. Porter with number 2 on the day. And Porter has 84 plus 4 is 88. 88 RBIs on the season. Trying to chase the leader, Brett. Here's the final run. It is a home run. It only can be a solo shot, so who hit it? 719. That's just higher than Cowan's. So somebody else that we don't know who hit the home run. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs for the Kansas City Royals. Now let's play another American League. This team that they're now tied because of Kansas City's win. Because if you don't believe me, let's look here. It is now tied. Both have a record of 72 and 64 in this great pennant chase. But now we go to Cleveland to see if the California Angels can go back in front. They've split the first 2 games of this series at the mistake by the lake. California's an S. They go up 2 because of Cleveland's pitching. And they are now a U. And Cleveland is a P. They don't move a bit, so they stay at P. Then we look at the home field. It's P. And because they have a 0 for the home team, for the visiting team, it's -1. So California goes back down from a U to a T. So it's T. TP. I should remember that one. I sell a lot of TP. So here we go. I should remember this. So here's California. They're rolling on T to see how many runs they score in this rubber match of this series, trying to get back in first place. If they lose this game, they will go into second place, and the Royals will be back in first. We got to go to the D6. D6. And here is the roll. 24. Not a great roll. That's 4 runs. 4 runs for the Angels. And now we roll P for the Tribe. P for Tribe. That's down here. Here's the P. To tie the game, they have to roll at least 32. To win, they roll at least a 45. But if they roll less than a 32, a 31 or less, they lose the game. Here is the roll. 53. That is a big roll. It's 5 runs for the Tribe. And the Royals are back in first place as they defeat, as the Tribe defeats the California Angels by a score of 5-4 and win the 3-game series on home field. So they get a home win. They score 5 runs. They allow 4. The winning pitcher is Rick Waits. Is the winner, and Dave Frost is the loser. So we go to the Angels. They have to count, or not Angels, the Indians, to account for 5 runs. Their home run number is 182. Here's the first run, rolling for the first run. 974 is not a home run. Who hit it? 835. That's clearly over 523, so it is other. We don't know who drove in the first run. It was somebody other than these 5 guys. Okay. Is it the reason why I only do 3 or 5 guys? I mean, okay, Dwayne Kuiper. Do we really, I'm sure he's a great announcer and, but he only hit 1 home run his entire career off of Steve Stone. That's the only guy he ever hit a home run off of. But if he hit 30 RBIs versus 40 RBIs, do we, it's just easier just to look after the top 5 guys. That's the decision I made. So we just call them all other. Here is roll number 2 for run number 2. 282 is not a home run. 005 is Andre Thornton. Anything from 001 to 132 is Andre Thornton. So he gets RBI number 86 on the season. Roll number 3, 887, 337. The first roll was to see if it was a home run. It wasn't. But the second rolls for the RBI, 337, is Toby Hara. You spell it the same forwards or backwards. Toby Hara. That's his 71 RBIs for Hara. Here's roll for the fourth run. 481. That's not a home run. 922 is clearly other. And now with the winning run in a one-run game, the fifth is not a home run, and it's 9-1. It's also other. So we don't know who drove in the go-ahead run, the winning run. So that is it for the Tribe. Now we have the horrible task of going to California and tell them that they're no longer in first place as they lose to Cleveland. But Cleveland's not a bad team this year. I mean, let's see. They are 71-66. They're .518 winning percentage. I mean, they're no slouch. So winning in Cleveland in 1979 was not automatic. So they lose here. So we go give them an AL home away loss. They scored 4. They allowed 5. The winner is Waits. And the loser is Frost. We have to count for 4 runs. Their home run number is 189. 189. First one is not a homer. Second one's 154. That is Don Baylor. And I didn't make the lines. Copy. Just go like this. And copy the formatting, which is this one right here. Makes all the lines that you want. All right. Baylor hits RBI number 122. Big year for Baylor. All right, so the second roll for run number 2 of 4. 178. That is a home run. Who hit it? 223. 223 just over Baylor is Bobby Grich with home run number 27 on the season. And he can hit up to a 3-run homer. What kind of homer is it? 545. It's a 2-run homer because it's over 506. It's 545. So a 2-run homer for Bobby Grich. That's 3 runs. And now the last run, it's not a homer. And it's 667, which is probably other, and it is. So there's all the runs for California. So there it gives you some taste of Sunday baseball. Now that we played Sunday baseball, we're going to play some Sunday football. Football as it is now the beginning of the NFL season. We'll get rid of the scoring chart. We get the football scoring chart. We have it up so we don't have to fight with that the entire day. We bring up 1979 NFL report. So let's see the games that we'll play. Let's play some good ones. Let's go to Buffalo. When you're thinking good football, you go to Buffalo. The Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Miami Dolphins are a J-rated offense. J is better than G by 3 columns. So that gives you a basic view of how much better the Dolphins were offensively than Buffalo. And also the defense of Miami was very good. -2 versus Buffalo, which is pretty good. -1. The home field advantage. Rich Stadium was not a home field advantage for Buffalo in 1979. They must have won most of their games on the road. I don't know. But they get a -1. So we have this. So the adjustment. Miami's J -1. They go down to an I. And Buffalo is a G. They go down to an E. Okay, then we take the final rating, which takes into account the home field advantage. The Bills go down to a D. So D for disadvantage. The right side is for the away team, and they don't change. 0 means you don't change at all. So now let's roll for the first quarter of this big game of the opening season between the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Miami rolls on I. We need a 2 dice on D6. Here's the first quarter on I for the Miami Dolphins. 63, a big quarter, as they score, 7 points. You have to get a 64 to get 10, so it's a touchdown for the Miami Dolphins in the first quarter. And let's see what kind of touchdown. I should have 2 dice, just so I don't have to switch back and forth. So I'm gonna find all the dice. Where's the other dice? Here we go. Fast dice. I'm gonna bring this up and we're going to 10. We can put it on 3. We're gonna have 2 dice up. We'll have to fight with the dice, which one's which, but it's better than having to switch all the time. Okay, so what kind of touchdown was it for the Dolphins? You can see the chart there. Their roll is 908. 908 is a defensive touchdown. So I'll have to create another thing. Defensive touchdown. They get a credit for a touchdown. Mike. Oh, we're on Buffalo right here. That's the wrong team. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So we go here and so we have to roll on this one. And they don't have a defensive touchdown. What was the roll there? Rolled on the wrong team. 908. 908 is a passing touchdown. So it's either Don Strock or Bob Greasy. So we will give a extra point to Huey Von Schaman. He will get a credit for extra point. So which quarterback threw this touchdown pass? It is 865. So it's Don Strock. Don Strock throws a touchdown pass. He gets credit for the touchdown. And who's the receiver? Nat Moore, Duriel Harris, Bruce Hardy, Jimmy Cephalo, or Tony Nathan, or other. Here is the roll for the receiver. 917. It is other. Other catches the ball. Other is one incredible player in both baseball and football. So Other gets the touchdown pass from Don Strock to Other. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Miami Dolphins. But Buffalo hasn't even rolled for the first quarter yet. They roll on D. They can get a touchdown if they roll 62 or higher. So good luck, Buffalo. That's the wrong dice. See, I'm fighting with it already. Here is the dice, too. On B. B for Buffalo. No, it's D, isn't it? D for Duffalo. It is D. Don't want to roll in the wrong column. So D with the right dice. D. Here's the first quarter points for the Buffalo Bills. 16, they score nothing. Nothing. So it's after the first quarter, it's 7-0 Miami. We go back to I. And see what the Dolphins can do in quarter number 2. Yes, I have to fight with the dice. I always picked the wrong one. The first one is for the rolling on the football chart. And that is, to refresh my memory, I. ID. Okay, I can remember ID. Okay, here's the roll for the Dolphins. They roll 15. 15 is zip. No points for the Dolphins in the second quarter. They still lead 7-0. Now we go to the D chart for Buffalo. They want to get on the board. To get on the board, they have to roll at least a 35. Here is the roll for the Buffalo Bills. 41. That is BQ. Our first BQ in the first game. So what does that mean? We go to the big quarter chart. It could be a big quarter. So here's all the possibilities. They could score. They could get an A, which is... They could roll again on an A, which is next to impossible to get any points. So that's bad. They roll a 12. They get Z. So let's take a look at Z chart. It's very rare that you get to roll on a Z chart. And if you do, I mean, you're going to score some points. If you can get up to 27 points, 24, 20, a big quarter, right? That's what they call it, BQ. It can stand for either big quarter or bad quarter. Okay, so we are rolling, not that one. Okay, so that's if we roll a 12. If we roll 13, you can see it goes plus 5. So that's how many columns improvement that you have for this one quarter. You can go down. But I think Buffalo at a D, they're saying, hey, we're going to roll we want to roll our dice and take our chance. We'll take a chance with getting a minus 5 because they're so low right now. Or if you roll 25, you automatically get 21 points. 26, you automatically get 21 points. If you roll 34, you get 0. 43, you get 3. And then you go back here, and it's kind of the reverse of this. Now, if you roll another column, you get the big Q again. Then you go back and roll on this. This is BQ times 2. You roll again. You can get up to 28 points in the quarter. So Buffalo has a potential of having a huge quarter here in the second quarter. Let's see what they roll on the BQ chart. 44. All that, they get 3 points. But at least they got on the board. So at halftime, the score is Miami 7, Buffalo 3. So we go back to the eye chart. ID. See, I'll remember this one for that. Just you have to put some, what does it stand for to remember it? That's, I'm that kind of person, remembers what it represents, not just letters. Okay, so we're going to roll for Miami on the eye chart. Here's their roll. 12. They didn't even get a safety. They got 0 again. The Buffalo defense is shutting them down. We go roll on Buffalo. D. D on Buffalo. They had their chance on the BG chart or BQ chart and choked with only 3 points. So let's see if they can do better now. They need 4 to tie. There's no 4 points, of course, but if they roll 55 or higher, they'll take the lead in the third quarter. Here is the roll. 56. 56 is 6 points. So what I do here is I look at the kicker, and it says here he had 1 missed PAT. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat this as a touchdown, and he missed the extra point. Then I put 0, and that means he won't miss an extra point for the rest of the year. So all 6s will be 2 field goals from now on. But this one missed PAT means it's a touchdown with a missed extra point. And that's the wrong dice. We bring up the other one to roll, see what kind of touchdown they scored. Here is the roll. 5-2-0. 5-2-0 is a touchdown pass. Joe Ferguson is the only one to throw a touchdown pass, so he gets credit automatically for the touchdown. Now let's hope it's not other. Let's hope somebody that we know gets the receiving touchdown. Here is the roll. Smaller than 929. 613. 613 is Curtis Brown. Curtis Brown, he caught the touchdown pass. Curtis Brown. Curtis Brown right here. He gets credit for the touchdown pass. And more importantly, the Buffalo scores 6 points, a touchdown, and a miss point after. So the score after 3 quarters is Buffalo 9, Miami 7. Now Miami has to score. If they don't score here, they lose the game automatically. And it'll be an upset in Buffalo. So here we're rolling on the eye chart. Of course, we have the wrong dice. It's this one. Eye chart. They need at least a 3. If they roll a 3, they will go ahead 10-9. So they need at least a 23. They do not want 22 or less. Here is the roll. 64. That's way over 23. 64 is 10 points. 10 points for the Miami Dolphins. And they take a 17-9 lead. Of course, one of them is a field goal. The other one is what kind... Oh, here we go on the wrong guy again. Sorry, sports fans. We have to go to Miami. That's the trickiest part here, is going to the right team. Okay, Von Schaman gets the field goal. And let's see what kind of touchdown they had. They had a defensive touchdown before. No, that wasn't, because we had a different team. That's right. Okay, here is the roll. See what kind of touchdown they have. 9:59. It is a passing touchdown. Who is the quarterback? 238 is Bob Greasy this time. He threw the touchdown. Let's see if somebody that we know can receive the touchdown. As long as we roll over 8 or under 851, we will have an actual human being catch the ball. Let's see. 987, Other catches another touchdown pass. So Other is the hero here. He catches a pass from Greasy and Don Strock. But regardless, Buffalo is now trailing by a score of 17-9. Now, I don't know if they have any chance. I think that was just too big a quarter because they're on a D chart. The maximum they can get is 7 on the chart itself. The only hope is to roll a 41 and get back on that BQ and hope for something better than last time when they got 3 points. So here is the final roll for Buffalo. 62, normally a very good roll, and it is, but they get 7 points. It's not enough. And Miami wins by a score of 17-16. And let's see what Buffalo, their last touchdown. The last touchdown, what kind of touchdown was it? 982. 982 is a special teams touchdown. Special teams get the touchdown. So it's either, is it special teams or defense? No, it's a defensive touchdown. Okay. Defensive touchdown. So you can look on the Pro Football Reference and see who scored defensive touchdowns for Buffalo. We're not bothering. So the final score, Miami 17, Buffalo 16. Buffalo gets a home loss. They score 16 points and they allow 17 points. Now, let's roll to see what their top offensive players did today. We go to a 20-sided die, and let's see how many yards passing Ferguson got today. 6. That is 215 yards. So Ferguson finishes this loss. It's 215, right? 6. I'm trying to think of what to say next, and therefore I forget numbers. That's just who I am. Okay, we will put this as a center. Okay, so Ferguson, he passes for 215 yards and 1 touchdown. Curtis Brown, their number 1 running back, he rolls 11, which is 38 yards rushing, no touchdowns. 38 yards, no touchdowns. Frank Lewis, their number 1 receiver, how many yards did he get today? 6. He got 71 yards, no touchdowns. And Jerry Butler, number 2 receiver, 15. He had 65 yards and no touchdowns. Too bad. Oh, this is not the team with other. 65 yards, no touchdowns. There's the numbers for the top 4 offensive players for Buffalo. We go to Miami. We take the good news back to Miami, although I'm sure they watched it on television. That they win their not home opener, but their opening game of the year by a score of 17-16. In real life, they won 9-7. So they won, in real life, they won by 2, and in the replay, they won by 1. So it's a away win for Miami. They score 17 points, and they allow 16 points. Now let's see how their top offensive players did. Bob Greasy, how many yards did you get? Bob Greasy rolls a 10. 154. He had 154 yards passing and a touchdown for Bob Greasy. Larry Zonka, their number 1 running back. How many yards did you get? Zonk. He rolled a 2. Very poor day for Zonka. He only had 29 yards rushing. No touchdowns. And we like to center. There we go. Now, Nat Moore, number 1 receiver. He had 1. Another poor day. He had 24 yards receiving. No touchdowns. And Duriel Harris. Let's see if he can do better than these guys are doing. 12. That is better. 53 yards receiving. No touchdowns. All the touchdowns went to somebody else. So 53 yards, no touchdowns. So that's the final score. Once again, the Dolphins 17, Buffalo 16. Where should we go next? Here's a good one. Let's go to Washington. The Redskins versus the Oilers. So we should have noted J-O is the ratings for Houston. So they're very, very close, these two teams. Earl Campbell is, of course, the big star for the Houston Oilers. Okay, so Houston's a J. They go down -1. So they go down to an I. They'll roll today as an I. And Washington, J. Oh, so they stay at J. However, the home field advantage of RFK Stadium is very good for Washington, so they go up to a K for the final rating and I for Houston. IK. I don't know if I can remember that one as easily as ID, but I will try. IK is what we're going to roll. First, we're going to roll the first quarter for the Houston Oilers on I. Here is the roll number 1, 41. 41 is 6 points. 6 points for Houston in the first quarter. So we go down. Of course, it's got to go to Houston. Go to Houston. And he had 2 missed... this one thing I really noticed. One of these kickers, I forget which one, had 6 missed extra points. So they were going to take one of the extra points, missed by Tony Fritsch. And so he's down to 1. So this will be treated as a touchdown and a missed extra point. And we go to this other die. We change it to 10 and go up to 3 dice. So now what kind of touchdown was it? It was a 0-21. 0-21 is an Earl Campbell, hopefully running touchdown. It's a running touchdown. So let's see if it is Earl Campbell. From 1 to 792 is Earl Campbell for the first touchdown. It's a higher. It's Tim Wilson. At least we know who it is, though. Tim Wilson runs it in for the touchdown for Houston. And the point after is no good. Let's just fix this. And center it. There we go. Tim Wilson. He gets the first touchdown of the year for the Houston Oilers. And they lead it over Washington 6-0. Now we roll for Washington on K. This dice. K. IK. Here's the roll for Washington in the first quarter. 24. 24 is 3 points. So the score after the end of the first quarter, it is Houston 6, Washington 3, and Mark Mosley gets the field goal. So it's 6-3. We go back to Houston, and we roll on I for Houston, who are up 6-3. And rolling on I. Let's see if they can do well again. Here's the roll. 66. 66 is a wonderful roll. They score 2 touchdowns. 14 points for Houston. They lead at 20-3 at the moment. Now we have to go back to Houston. And we roll what kind? Come on, Earl Campbell had to run one of those in. You can tell I'm a huge Earl Campbell fan. The guy was incredible. You watch the highlights. Go to YouTube. Do yourself a favor if you've never done this. And go Earl Campbell highlights or something. You will be astounded. The power of that man. You just don't see, I don't know, you just don't see that today. Someone that dominating. But the punishment he took. I mean, that's the difference from football today. Then all the rules are to eliminate punishment. Back then, I mean, Earl Campbell had such a short career because he just took a pounding. Anyway. And I don't know, I saw a video with him, I don't know, a few years ago, and he could barely walk in it. It was so sad, but, I mean, incredible player. Anyway, let's see what kind of touchdown it is. We got the wrong dice. Here's the right one. What kind of touchdown? 587 is just over the run. It's a pass. Is it Pastorini or Gifford Nielsen? It is Pastorini. Throws a touchdown pass. And who did he throw it to? Kenny Burrow, Billy White Shoes Johnson, Mike Barber, Mike Renfro, Rich Castor. A very stellar receiving core for the Houston. They weren't just Earl Campbell, as you can tell. And how I cheered for them over Steelers. And they just couldn't they just got blown out every time in the AFC Championship. You know, what was it? I don't know, 34-3 or something. It's terrible. Very disappointing. All right. But the Steelers were that good. I give them all the credit in the world. Okay, let's see who got the touchdown pass. Not other. Anything over 765 is other. 434. It is Mike Barber. Mike Barber catches the touchdown pass from Pastorini. And That's the first touchdown. Now we roll the second touchdown. Second touchdown roll is a 3-13. It's a running touchdown. Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell. No! It's Tim Wilson again. He only had, how many? He had 2 all year, and he had 2 in the first half of the first game for Tim Wilson. And we have to give Tony Fritsch his PATs. He has 2 of them. So they have the lead, a big lead for the first half over Washington by a score of 20-3. Now we roll on K for Washington. Bring up the right dice, go up to the right column. Here is their roll. 63 is a very good roll. 63 is 10 points for Washington. So they come back and they're only down by touchdown. One is a field goal. Second one by Mosley, the only kicker to ever win the MVP. Wasn't this year, though. I think it was 83. Is it 83, 82? One of those 2 years. He won the MVP. Can you imagine a kicker winning the MVP? Anyway, and see what their touchdown is. Bring back roll dice number 2. Here it is. It is a 788. 788 is a Joe Theismann touchdown pass. All right, and who did he throw it to? Clarence Harmon, Danny Bugs, future Eskimo, Edmonton Eskimo, Danny Bugs, Ricky Thompson, Gene Fugett, and John Riggins, or lots of others. They spread the ball around at Theismann in 1979. Here is the roll, 503. 503 is Fugett. Fugett or Fugett? Jean? I always think Jean because of Montreal Canadiens, but it's probably Gene. Gene Fugett. Or Fugett? Redskin fans know. I'm more than I did not follow the Redskins. 503. So, Fugett. 503. We could look it up, I guess. Get the right pronunciation. See if Pro Football... Let's see if they tell us how we pronounce his name. We go to Washington. We go to the receiving corps. Is this the right year? 79? 79 Redskins. All right, where are you? Oh, there. He's on the bottom. Okay, do you tell us how to pronounce his name? No. Gene... You know, baseball, they do that. They give, you know, the pronunciation. Fugett. Fugett or Fugett? I don't know. I'm sure one of you guys knows. So you'll probably tell me. All right. So he gets a touchdown regardless of how his name is pronounced. And so we'll give it over here. There it is. And we'll just center this. All right, so we have the touchdown, and Mosley gets the PAT. So we have at the half, the score is Houston 20 and Washington 20-13. So Washington they needed 10 points and they got it, so they're back in the game. We roll for I in the third quarter. For the Houston Oilers, here's their roll. 54, another good roll here. 54 is a touchdown. They score another 7 points. They score points, and Washington won't be able to catch them. So Houston goes to theirs, and let's see how they scored. Not Tim Wilson. Is it Tim? Tim Wilson, yeah. You've got your 2 touchdowns for the year. It's time for Earl Campbell to score. All right, here is the roll. 529. 529 is a running touchdown. Who? 717. Just barely Earl Campbell. He has his touchdown. Good job. And Fritsch gets his 3rd extra point. He's missed 1. So we go back to Washington to get the roll on K for the Washington Redskins. Here's the roll on K. Go back to the first dice. They needed a big roll here to stay in the game. They get 22. That's not a big roll. It's only 3 points. They are behind the 8-ball huge as they're down 27-16. 11 points going to the fourth quarter. We roll for Houston on I. Here's the roll. If they get points here, I think it's, unless it's a BQ, it'll be just about over. Here is the roll. It's 14. Not a good quarter. They don't score. So that opens up the door to give Washington at least a possibility of getting back in this game. They're rolling on K. Here's the very crucial roll. They want a 14. They're down 11. So they want at least a 64, 65, or 66, or this BQ 23. Here is the roll. 16. That is not any of those. They scoreless. So Houston goes into a defensive running the ball with Earl Campbell wasting clock, and they win this game 27-16. And the Houston Oilers, who lost, or who won the game in real life 29-27, also win in this game, but much more convincingly 27-16. It is a home loss for Washington. They score 16 points and they allow 27 points. Theismann had a touchdown, and how many yards passing? In a losing cause. We go to 20-sided die. We roll it. He rolls a 2. That means he only passed for 152 yards in the game, which might be a reason why they lost. Then we go to John Riggins. John Riggins did not score a touchdown, but how many yards rushing did he have in this game? 3, not very much. As they tried going to the air, but they were unsuccessful. He only ran for 52 yards. No touchdowns for John Riggins. Clarence Harmon and Danny Bugs. Danny Bugs. Okay, we go to Clarence Harmon. That's the wrong dice. It's the second one. That's why I don't like 2 dice. I get confused. Okay, here we go. How many yards receiving? He's not much there. They didn't have big receivers. He only had 25 yards receiving. That makes sense because Theismann didn't have much yards passing. And let's see who the CFL futures. He wasn't a star in the CFL, but he did play in the Grey Cup game for the Eskimos in 1980. Danny Bugs. He caught a big pass, too. I think it was like a 50-yard pass. And he got to the 1-yard line. Did not score the touchdown, but he did have a big catch in that game. So we go to this. He did not have a lot of success. He's better than Harmon, though. So here's the roll. It's a 1. He only had 11 yards receiving. So that's why he said, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to the CFL. We have more success. So that is not much offense, at least for the big 4 of the Washington Redskins. So that, I don't know, is there a game that you want to see? Let's see if we can find the biggest contest. And we'll play that one more game, and then I'll just play the rest offline. Let's see, a big game. I think the Rams had a pretty big game. Is Oakland? Okay, this is the best candidate so far. Oakland Raiders, they're both over 500 teams. LA went to the Super Bowl this year. So that is a candidate. Chicago, Green Bay. Now, Green Bay wasn't very good. Dallas played St. Louis. They weren't very good. Philadelphia played the Giants, and unfortunately, the Giants were terrible. The Chargers. Yes, they are a good candidate. Seattle Seahawks, who were an expansion team, but they finished around 9-7. So they're above 500 against the high-powered San Diego Chargers. And yes, I can say San Diego all I want and not have to put any money in the jar. San Diego Chargers will play the Seattle Seahawks in our final game of this triple header here today. The Chargers have a M-3. I think that is the best rating of this season. So you can say that they are the favorites. And they go against the Seattle Seahawks, who are L+3. So maybe there wasn't, well, they have almost as good an offense, but not nearly as good a defense. So maybe, I don't know, let's pick a closer one. Let's see, KO. And what is this? Rams are I-O. That's very close. So let's go for the Raiders. KO Raiders. Sorry if you... We'll definitely have San Diego. I mean, when... You know, just a little... This is a little bit closer contest. So we go KO. Come on, K. You can work. KO from Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. The Raiders stay. The defense is neutral, so it's K. Why did I hit that? I'm trying to hit K. I'm having trouble hitting the K. I don't know why. K-I. K-I. And after the home field is neutral, it is still K-I. Only one column apart. No, it's two columns apart. K-I. Okay. So we're going to roll for the Raiders. This is the last year for Kenny Stabler in Oakland. Here is the roll for Kenny Stabler, first quarter. 23. It's a BQ. Potential for a big quarter or a bad quarter. Let's see what they roll. It is two-sided die. 2D2. 2D6s. Here is the roll. 51. 51 is 0 points. I was thinking, 21 points. No, it's 0. The Ram defense shuts them down on a potential big quarter, and they get 0. So all that for nothing. Okay, we go LA. They're rolling on I. Go back to the chart. And roll I. Let's see what they do. Can they do better than 0? 26. 26 is 3 points. So they get a field goal for the Rams. And it's Frank Corral gets his first field goal of the year. And it's 3-0 Rams. Go to the second quarter. Rolling on K for the Raiders. Here is the roll. 35. That should get him some points. Is 6. 6 points for the Raiders. Is it a touchdown? He had 3 missed PATs, so it is the missed PAT. And we go down to 2. So it is a touchdown for... Oh, what am I doing? You guys are saying, dummy! We have to go to the Raiders. Okay, Oakland over here. Here's the Raiders. They have 4 missed field goal or missed PATs. So Jim Breach, he definitely misses this one. He's down to 3. You know, I just can't believe. And this was not a 25-yard like it is now. It's on the 5. Or is it the 2? I don't know. Somewhere in the, easy chip shot. And they miss so many extra points these days. The kickers, that's one thing. The kicking is better today. I'll admit that. All right. We go for the touchdown now. Who scored the touchdown? 10-3 die. What kind of touchdown is it? It is a 742. That is a passing touchdown. Is it Stabler or the guy waiting in the wings, Jimmy Plunkett? Most likely it's Stabler. 387. It is Stabler. He throws a touchdown pass. And it's not Blitnikoff, my favorite all-time Raider. Freddie Blitnikoff. No, it's not him. He's retired. I think this is maybe his first year he didn't play. I'm not sure on that. Raider fans do not yell and scream at me. I know you know the answer. They still have a lot of good receivers. Raymond Chester, Cliff Branch, Dave Casper, Rich Martini. He's now a boxing judge. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. We roll to see who caught the touchdown pass. 847. It is Other, of course. Man, I hate Other. But, then I have to have 1,600 columns. So it is Other. Who caught the touchdown pass. Fill in the blank in your mind who it is. The ghost of Freddie Blitnikoff. Somebody. He's not dead, but, he's not playing anymore. So that is the touchdown. Stabler to Other. And we go back to LA. They're so far apart for the Rams roll in the second quarter. They're rolling off I. We're seeing a lot of I today. Rolling on I. The Rams roll on I. Here is the roll. 36. 36 is also 6 points. 6 points for the Rams. And they take the lead back 9-6. And that is a missed PAT. So we go to, I did this earlier and reversed it. I could have just left it if I could see the future. Let's see what kind of touchdown. It is a passing touchdown. Who threw the pass? Vince Ferragamo or Pat Hayden? 465, it's Pat Hayden. He throws a touchdown pass. And who does he throw it to? Preston Denard, Terry Nelson, Billy Waddy, Charlie Young, or Ron Jesse, or the hated other. Here is the roll. 327. It is Terry Nelson who catches the touchdown pass from Pat Hayden. And the point after is no good. So the score is now the Rams 9 at the half and the Raiders 6. Go to the third quarter. Roll on K. K for the Raiders. Here is the Raiders' roll in the third quarter. It is 52. That's a good one. 7 points. 7 points for Oakland. We go. I should just move the tab over. Okay. What kind of touchdown is it? The touchdown is 720. 720 is a passing touchdown. Who threw the pass? Stabler. His second touchdown pass. Who caught the pass? 820. Why do I roll so high on that roll all the time? Other again. Second pass caught by other off Kenny Stabler. Oh my goodness. So it is now, I could just do this. This is a shortcut. Rams. So it's now 13-9. Let's see what the Rams can roll in the third quarter. They're rolling off I remember that. Here's the roll. 11. So they get a safety. So at least they score something. 11 you think is a bad number. Well, at least they go to safety. Now the score going to the fourth quarter is the Raiders 13 and the Rams 11. It's anybody's ball game. Here are the Raiders roll off K for the fourth quarter. 54, a very good roll for the Raiders. 54. Oh, I thought maybe it would be 10, but it's 7. A touchdown for the Raiders. They go to 20 points. So Los Angeles has to score at least 10 points to win this game in the fourth quarter, which is not easy to do. So yes, we have to go there. We'll right-click and click on the Raiders. Okay, well, what kind of touchdown is it? Hopefully it's not to other. It is a 387. It is another touchdown pass by Stabler, his third of the game. And who's it to? Please, not other. Even if it's Rich Martini, I'll take him. 679. It is Derek Ramsey who caught this pass. So at least we have somebody with a name that caught one of the touchdown passes. Derek Ramsey. So he gets the final touchdown unless it goes in overtime. I don't know if there's a 9 on the board. We'll see. There probably is somewhere. Rams, they need a big roll or else they're going to go down. The real score, Raiders did win this game 24-17. So this is pretty realistic. We go down and we roll on I versus for the Rams. There's no 13, but if they want to get 9, they have to hit this BQ, and I'm sure there's a 9 somewhere. All right, but if they roll 64 or higher, they win the game. Here is the roll. 61. So they just fall short. 7 points, the final score. The Oakland Raiders 20 and the Los Angeles Rams 18. It's a home loss for the Rams. Not the way to defend your national NFC championship by losing your first game. 18 points, 20 points. is the final score. Let's see what kind of day Pat Hayden had. He had a touchdown pass. He had a touchdown pass, but could not pull it out in the end. All right, let's see what his roll on his pass. Go to the D20 and roll the dice. 16, that's pretty good. 197. It's pretty good for somebody. It's still below 200 yards, but they weren't a great passing team, so it makes sense. Wendell Tyler. They had really a committee, so they didn't have really one guy that dominated like Earl Campbell. I don't think I rolled for Earl Campbell. We got to do that. Okay, 15. That's pretty good for him. 15 is 77 yards for Wendell Tyler. Okay, next is Preston Denard. Let's see how many yards he had. Roll the dice. 12. Move it over. 12 is 51 yards for Denard. No touchdown. And Terry Nelson, who did have a touchdown, how many yards receiving did he have to go along with his TD? He's not a really big yardage guy, so 7 is 18. Probably his only catch of the day. All right, before I forget, let's go to Houston and see how many yards Earl Campbell had. Pastorini, we'll roll for him first. Dan Pastorini. 11. 139. So he's not a big yardage man because their game plan was to feed the ball, to feed the man. Earl Campbell. Okay, how many yards? You see, there's some big numbers here. Let's get at least 100 yards rushing today. Here's the roll. 20. 20 at 136 yards rushing. Excellent day for Earl Campbell. That's why they won. They just fed the monster the ball. Even though Tim Wilson got all the touchdowns. Kenny Burrow, double O. Kenny Burrow, how many yards did he catch? 14. 51 yards receiving for Kenny Burrow. Oh, I'm too busy thinking of something else. What was it again? It was a 14. That's 51. That's the number I thought, but I didn't want to screw up. I know I have people analyzing everything and, hey, you typed that wrong. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. I'm far from perfect. Here's Billy White Shoes Johnson. How many yards did the White Shoes get today? This is the one I want right there. Here's the roll for Billy White Shoes. 3. Not very good. 34 yards. No touchdowns. 34 and 0. So we did roll for them. Now we go to the Raiders. See, their big day. Big day for Kenny Stabler. He had 3 touchdown passes. How many yards passing in total did he have? 2. 203. He made them count. He was very efficient with the ball today. Here's Mark Van Egan, their number 1 rushing or running back, they're another team that went by committee. 5. He had 39 yards rushing, no touchdowns. Now we go to Raymond Chester, the number 1 receiver in 1979. Here is his roll. 16, a nice day for him. 62 yards and no touchdowns. If you're playing fantasy football, that's 6 points for you. Here's Cliff Branch, the speedster. Everybody loves Cliff Branch. Here's his roll. 13, 63 yards for Branch. No touchdowns. That's the Raiders. Okay, we did the Rams already, right? I think we did. Yep. Okay, so to summarize what happened today, we have to go back to Oakland and tell them that they won. Excel sometimes gets something in their mind, and it's hard to get rid of it. All right, here we go down. Oakland. Let's tell the people of Oakland that their team is victorious. They have a away win. They scored 20 points and gave up 18. So we can go and see in our standings. We haven't played all the games yet. But Miami has won. Buffalo has lost. Baltimore, we played that. The score there was 17-11 for Kansas City over Baltimore. That one we played off camera. Oakland and Kansas City both won. Washington lost. We played Tampa Bay and Detroit. That was 23-6 for Tampa Bay. San Francisco we played. And they lost to who? 25-20. Who lost to Minnesota? 25-20. So I'll finish off all these games, but that's how this goes. And tomorrow, on the 3rd of September, we have, of course, Pennant, a couple of the pennant races of baseball. And also we'll have Monday Night Football. When Monday Night Football was an event, the New England Patriots host the Pittsburgh Steelers. The defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers will visit New England. And then we will have Labor Day. It's Labor Day, the 3rd of September. This Labor Day Classic from Calgary between the Eskimos and the Calgary Stampeders. This has been the sign-off for September the 2nd, 1979. This is King Icheboo reporting. Goodbye, everybody.